Hundreds of crafters will fill the Superior Dome in Marquette for the start of the TV6 Mother's Day Craft Show.
That's where Michael Sobak joins us live from this morning to meet with one of the crafters. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Tia. Of course, right now it seems a little empty behind me, but in just a few hours and later this afternoon, that's not going to be the case. And throughout this morning, a lot of these crafters are going to be coming in, setting up shop, getting their booths ready. But before we talk a little bit about timing, I have Chad joining me, who's one of the crafters who's going to be here at the Mother's Day Craft Show. We're going to take a deep dive, not only what he's bringing to the table, but also a little bit of comparison of last year. So thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, jumping in specifically what you've made and what you're bringing, can you tell me a little bit about what's in front of us and also what the creation process is like?
Well, for instance, this piece on the driftwood, we were just happened to be out two-tracking and we were by the water and we seen the driftwood and we were like, oh, we're going to use that someday. And then we picked it up and I ended up doing another project with the bass, and then it turned out that this piece ended up being just right. So,
was there always a goal to incorporate the natural elements of like driftwood and things you found outside with your metalworking?
We try to do it all the time. Like when we ship stuff, we reuse boxes. There's a Boss dealer out by me that gives me all of my packing material, so we want to reuse and recycle. So,
and then now comparing last year to this year, are there some new things you're bringing to the craft show? And are you expecting a bigger turnout this year?
We're keeping our fingers crossed for a bigger turnout. The bell is one of my newest pieces. I've done a couple test cuts, and this one turned out the best so far. So,
is this the only one you've made so far, or do you have more as well?
This is the one that I will have here at the show this year. Throughout the summer at other craft shows, I'll have other ones. Different cuts in the steel and whatnot make different sounds.
And then how long, real quick, does it typically take to make one of these projects?
If, like, say the fish, I have that already designed, so, I mean, from start to finish, it'd probably take about 2 hours.
Okay, so not too terribly long, which is always good. Of course, you know, finding the driftwood and even the wood is also a process of its own. But thank you so much for joining this morning. I'm super excited to see what else you're bringing to the craft show. This is just a little sneak peek, but coming up in a few more minutes, we're going to talk with another crafter. And of course, if you're interested, the craft show starts today. Doors open at 5 p.m. So make sure you watch the clock if you're just as excited as a lot of people are going to be, like myself. So if just a few minutes, we'll talk with another crafter. And that's I'll be right back. It's back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. Beautiful work. We're excited to see what else you have for us. Now, this weekend there are a lot of events going on, and I think it's pretty sunny out there.
It is going to be a nice weekend, but we have some hazards to talk about for Mother's Day. I'll have the first alert on that after the break.